The terms common hazard refer to any condition, practice, or action that frequently results in employee injury or illness. There are 6 types of the most common hazards in workplace. Safety hazard when there is presence of unsafe work environments that can lead to accidents or illnesses, such as tripping hazard, inappropriate or malfunction equipment, confined space, and working from height. Physical hazard is an environmental factors that cause harm to the body, even without a direct contact, such as slippery floors, inappropriate place of objects, excessive noise, fire, and radiations. Ergonomic is when there is any interaction with manufactured environment that causes the user strains or discomfort, such as improper setup of work setting, frequent object lifting, poor body posture, and repeating movement over and over again. Psychological is a hazard that causes stress and strain result from work activities. These are associated with workplace issues such as excessive workload, lack of authority or respect, discriminations, or sexual harassment that may present at the workplace. Chemical hazard exists when a worker is exposed to any forms of chemical preparations in the workplace. This is including of pesticide, cleaning products, and flammable materials. Biological hazard when workers work with living things that are occupied with pathogenic agents that cause disease, such as bacteria, fungus, blood or body fluid. It is impossible to eradicate or mitigate a hazard in the workplace if it is unknown. When the hazard has been identified, it can be dealt with appropriate action to reduce or eliminate the risk of injury or death. It may be necessary to conduct research to know what constitutes a hazard and how much damage that hazard could cause. Source of hazard information include safety data sheet, manufacturer's operating instruction or manuals, test or monitor exposure, results of job safety analysis, safety association, information or alert by renowned organizations such as labor unions or government agencies, experiences of other similar organizations.
Next, how to manage hazard in your workplace. Well, by following the hierarchy of control, it shows the most effective to the least effective measure to control workplace hazard and to minimize risk. First, we start with the most effective step, which is elimination. It is a total remove of hazard and often cheaper and more practical to eliminate hazard. For example, remove trip hazard on the floor or dispose of unwanted chemical. If it is not reasonably practical to eliminate the hazard, you should minimize the risk by substituting it. This video shows the example on how we can substitute the thing that considered as hazard. Engineering control is a control measure that includes the implementation of equipment. This can be done through the use of automated machine and effective ventilation system. Administrative control are procedures that are designed to minimize employee exposure to a hazard. Establish appropriate procedures such as limit exposure time to a hazardous task, routine maintenance, use sign to warn people of a hazard, and training on correct work method. Lastly, use suitable PPE. The use of PPE does not control the hazard itself, but merely control exposure to the hazard. Examples include hard hat, construction vest, protective eyewear, face mask, and gloves. When should hazard identification be done? Hazard identification can be done during design and implementation, like when designing a new process or procedure and purchasing and installing new machinery. Second, before tasks are done, check the equipment or following process and review surrounding before each shift. Third, while tasks are being done, be aware of changes, abnormal conditions, or sudden emissions. Next is during the inspection, be it either the formal or informal or by supervisor or health and safety committee. Last but not least, after incident happen, either it is near miss or minor event or injuries. In the end, we must well inform about activities that present hazard and risk to effectively reduce the exposure to hazard and prevent any accident and injuries from happening.